Hey everyone, and welcome back to Marty's Midterm Meltdowns here at WLHU. As always, I'm your host Martina at Commonwealth University Lock Haven with another installment of Marty vs. the Media. Today, we're going to be diving into how the popular app Snapchat influences the lives of students right here at Commonwealth University. Snapchat allows users to connect with others from anywhere in the world, allowing them to make and maintain friendships through streaks and share details from their daily lives with private stories. But you don't have to take my word for it. Today, we're going to have some wonderful guests share their opinions on Snapchat and its effects on our campus. So let's get into some interviews. Our first guest on today's episode, Riley, uses Snapchat daily to communicate with friends, family, and coworkers. I wanted to bring Riley on because she represents a lot of students here at Lock Haven, being a working, busy student who keeps up with life online. Welcome, Riley. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, so let's get into some questions. Riley, how do you think Snapchat influences the way students at Commonwealth University communicate and maintain friendships?
I think it improves our communication because we all have the app and we can all bond over it and it's easy to respond quickly.
In what ways has Snapchat impacted your academic life or study habits?
I would say it delays them because sometimes I get distracted just talking to my friends on it.
Do you think that it's impacted your grades at all, or have they been okay?
No, my grades are perfect.
That's good. How does using Snapchat affect your sense of connection or belonging within the university community?
I would say it improves my sense of belonging because I can see that I'm so close to all these people and I have contact with so many of them.
I love that. How has Snapchat influenced students' perceptions of privacy or personal boundaries?
I would say it oversteps boundaries because of the location feature. I feel like that's kind of unhealthy.
I agree. Do you check people's locations a lot?
Yeah, all the time.
It's okay, me too. In what ways does Snapchat contribute to or relieve stress for Commonwealth University students?
I would say it relieves my stress because it gives me an outlet to talk to my friends.
I agree with that. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you today, Riley. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I thought Riley gave great insight into how the location features of Snapchat do really push the boundaries of privacy, since people have the ability to see where you are and who you're with pretty much at all times. Now, let's hear from someone who's been on campus a little bit longer than me and Riley, as she is a senior at Commonwealth University and is very involved on campus. On to the next interview. Okay, so I'd like to welcome our next guest on the Meltdown, Bree. Say hey, Bree.
Hi.
I asked Bree to come on today because she uses Snapchat to catch up with friends locally, back at home, and to connect with people potentially going to the same grad school as her. So welcome. Let's get into some questions. Bree, how do you think Snapchat influences the way students at Commonwealth University communicate and maintain friendships?
I think students here use it a lot because we are a generation that uses social media a lot, but Snapchat also has a feature where you can connect with people from your university. So it's a great resource for students, especially incoming freshmen, to know who is in their classes and just within their grades so they can find roommates or find potential classmates.
Awesome. In what ways has Snapchat impacted you personally with your academic life or study habits, either like positively or negatively?
I think a positive aspect is it's very easy for me to connect with my classmates when we have like group projects and be able to communicate within our clubs and things like that as well.
How do you think Snapchat affects your sense of connection or belonging within the university community? I know you already mentioned with like being able to connect within the group itself for your university. How do you think that affects like the overall connection or belonging?
I think it helps with the connection on campus. A lot of students who don't really use messages as much can use Snapchat and other social medias as well to communicate through their friend groups, and it's just a great way and like an additional resource for those students to use.
Now we're gonna shift gears a little bit. How has Snapchat influenced students' perceptions of privacy and personal boundaries?
I think personal boundaries is a little iffy with Snapchat because everyone seems to want to put anything onto their private stories, and they just expect people to not share those around, and I feel like some drama can be created, especially if it's a private story where someone is not included on it, or if it's talking about a experience that happened or a situation that happened, and then it just starts to spread.
I agree. Social media, especially Snapchat, creates like so much drama in like I think all societies, honestly.
Yeah.
And then for our last question, what ways does Snapchat contribute to or relieve stress for Commonwealth University students like yourself?
Definitely a stress reliever is like how you can connect with the students before you even attend campus. Definitely knowing how and like who my roommate was going to be before I even arrived on campus and moved in was definitely a stress reliever for me. I am very anxious when I first meet new people, so not knowing and having that uncertainty of who they are, what they look like, what they like. It was definitely a great way for me to communicate with them before getting here. And I know a lot of other students do that with their like athletic teams they're on, or if they're joining like the honors college, different things like that. Like I'm an athlete, and it was wonderful being able to hear from the girls before coming to campus, before like and having that open line of communication.
Thank you so much for your insightful answers today, Bree. We really appreciated having you on today.
Thank you.
I love that Bree was able to give such in-depth and thoughtful answers for this interview. I think she brought up a fantastic point with the community stories and how they contribute to a sense of belonging and unitedness on our campus. Let's get into our last interview to wrap up our guest speakers. Okay, everyone, so our last guest on The Meltdown is my sorority big Paige. Paige, say hi.
Hi.
I asked Paige to be here today because she uses Snapchat for communication and entertainment, so I figured that she could give us some good insight. So our first question, Paige, how do you think Snapchat influences the way students at Commonwealth communicate and maintain friendships?
I think Snapchat helps everyone on campus be more involved because they have community stories, so you can be in that with everyone in your grade. And a lot of people like to post flyers of events going on later in the week for people to attend.
So moving on, in what ways has Snapchat impacted your academic life or study habits, like better or worse with your grades or anything?
I think it's very beneficial if you have a group project with a couple kids, especially if you don't know them that well and you don't feel comfortable giving them your phone number. Snapchat's like a good in-between where you can still communicate while still like maintaining some of your privacy.
I agree. How does Snapchat affect your sense of connection or belonging within the university community? I know you talked about those community stories.
Yeah, there's the community stories, and then more so on our sorority level, we have multiple group chats with all the sisters in it. So it's just a good way to like talk about fun things that aren't more so like business related.
And then for our next question, I know that we touched on the privacy of giving someone your phone number, and Snapchat like eliminates that, but how do you think it influences like personal boundaries? How does Snapchat like inflict on those?
I think if you are videotaped doing something and someone else posts it, then that can be kind of awkward or embarrassing if you didn't want them to see what you were videotaped doing.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely has like some different perspectives on it with like that kind of stuff. And then for our last question, in what ways does Snapchat contribute to or relieve stress for Commonwealth University students like yourself?
So Commonwealth University students like myself have their stress relieved by Snapchat. Like if there are things going on campus, like for example over winter break last year, the Fairview dorms were flooded, and
Oh my god.
most students found that out by Snapchat. So that definitely was stressful, but then at least knowing about it was alleviating stress for students that weren't contacted.
I was part of those students that found out about that through Snapchat. I
Yeah.
honestly forgot that happened, so thank you for bringing that up.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Paige. I really appreciated your answers, and thank you.
You're so welcome.
Paige, entertaining as always, was able to give great insight into how Snapchat is used to spread information quickly, using a personal example of the infamous Fairview floods from last semester. Snapchat was how most residents, including me, in Fairview found out about the situation, proving its informational use. Well, that wraps up all of our guests on The Meltdown for today. I hope you found their interviews to be as entertaining and informative as I did. Today's podcast dove into the many uses of Snapchat, from Riley's mention of privacy infringement and Bree's points on inclusion and belonging, to Paige's topic on the informational uses of Snapchat. I would like to say a huge thank you to our guests and for all of you in the audience listening today. I'll see you guys all on the next meltdown. Bye.